Hey, welcome Broken World Entertainment. And James Gunn's Superman legacy is starting to become a bit of a mess. Between leaks of supposed rumours for the plot, who the villain could be, or should I say villains, what it's setting up, and the one thing that I think we were all nervous about is how bloated this cast is starting to get. And it is getting incredibly bloated. And it doesn't look like he's going to be stopping anytime soon when it comes to this. In fact, let's have a look at this bit. Superman Legacy is shaping up to be 2025's biggest superhero movie, at least in terms of the cast. Filmmaker James Gunn is assembling a massive ensemble for the first DCU movie. It's an undeniably exciting project, and one DC fans are hoping to see do the Man of Tomorrow justice. David Cornsweet is playing Clark Kent, with Rachel Brosnahan joining him as Lois Lane. Beyond them, superheroes, supervillains, and supporting characters have all been added to the mix, but Gunn isn't done yet. That is incredibly worrying when all you want for a brand new Superman movie that is starting the story again is to focus purely on Superman, and clearly he's not doing that. And I was getting the feeling that he wasn't going to do that when they announced Hawkgirl was going to be in this, Hal Jordan was going to be in this, Metamorpho was going to be in this, and now we just have more and more. But let's go through the leaks first about the supposed plot. Here's the thing though about this leak. Yes, it's the Middle East thing. That's not actually the full plot of the story. That is just one small element, which we'll look at. James Gunn, of course, has come out and said, no, that's not happening. And now other people are coming out and saying, no, it's still absolutely happening. So let's have a look at this, what this says about the leaks. So Superman Legacy leaks have hit the net for James Gunn's launch of the DCU, starring David Cornsweet as the new Man of Steel, revealing possible plot details and the villain of the movie. The info isn't totally new, as a lot has already been said that includes mention of Superman in the Middle East as well as Brainiac. So what it says here then is that they're wondering if Gunn rewrote part of the script, as the Middle East is obviously a sensitive topic right now and whatnot. And what it was meant to be when it comes to the Middle East part is that there's meant to be supposedly terrorists who have Kryptonian tech, and he goes to stop them and retrieve the tech. But the element of him going to the Middle East is it's the first introduction of Superman to the world. It's the first time people get eyes on Superman. So, with that being said, the Middle East involvement is still supposedly happening despite Gunn's claims, saying it's not. And this comes from, brace yourselves, Grace Randolph. So indeed. Or should I say, so God help us. Let's have a look at this part. So again, it's claimed that the Middle East plays a role in the upcoming Superman Legacy movie, which is despite what James Gunn has said. Leaks surfaced offering that Superman's big reveal in the movie happens in the Middle East, where terrorists have gotten a hold of Kryptonian tech. James Gunn was asked by a fan if the terrorist threat in the Middle East storyline rumor is true, to which Gunn shut it down and said it isn't true. However, it's claimed by YouTuber Grace Randolph that Superman Legacy still features the Middle East. And here's the thing about what we're going to hear from Grace in this. She kind of has a bit of a point. I know that hurts to say, but you'll see what I mean. So it was, the Middle East is a very sensitive topic right now, blah, 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 which could be, should it be in there and whatnot. So Randolph actually says she was the first to report that the flick involves the Middle East dictators not terrorists. So technically, she says, James Gunn is correct. And she says this: always pay attention to exactly what is said to James Gunn and how it is handled, because he's really big on semantics to try kind of get around stuff. I mean, all the scoopers still know that there's a Middle East storyline in this movie, Randolph said. Randolph says she asked her sources who confirmed the Middle East is still in the movie. When I saw him respond to that, I went to my sources and said, oh hey, did he rewrite this movie and take the Middle East out? You know, sometimes he'll take something out and then say it never was there. I mean, that's his prerogative. I was like, did he take it out? Did he take it out? My source said, no, it's still there, and we discussed it, she explained. Randolph added that it's the terrorism word that Gunn is correct about, and if fans really want to know, they should just question Gunn only about the Middle East. Some other scoopers I hear have also been like, we believe it's the terrorist word, which is why he said he was able to confidently dismiss that, added Randolph. You'll note that in my report I said it was dictators, and it might not even have that element. So you see what she says there, where you kind of go, I can see how she could actually be right. And it's not just heard, I actually heard it from someone else online about the Middle East, not Grace Randolph. Do people actually watch Grace Randolph? But it's the fact that the question really is the Middle East part of the movie still in there? He's correcting people when they add in the terrorist part. Is that still in there? And he's saying no to where it should be. Question him and put it on Twitter at him and say, is the Middle East storyline still in there? But then we get to the cast, and the cast is just ballooning out of control. So now we have Nicholas Hoult has been cast as Lex Luthor. Of course, Nicholas Hoult previously actually auditioned and was in the running for Superman before the role actually went to Cornsweat. But now they've cast him as Lex Luthor, which means, are we possibly going to have Brainiac and Lex Luthor? Well, it's not going to stop there either when it comes to villains. Because apparently, so get this, Venezuelan actress Maria Gabriela de Freya has been cast as the Authority's engineer in Superman Legacy. That's right, we're gonna get the Authority starting to be introduced in this movie. So it says the latest Superman Legacy casting has officially been revealed, and it confirms that a suspicion everyone has about the film. It's often been rumoured in the past year that a group of anti-heroes, or some of its members, would make their debut in the DCU through this reboot of Man of Steel. Then they would spin off into their own movie. And of course, there are reports that Maria Gabriela de Freya will play the engineer, real name Angela Spicer, and introduced in The Authority #1 in '99. Her powers are rooted in nanotech implants, and she is the second person to go by her non-de-genre, whatever. The weird part is she's meant to be in the Authority, and yet they're also saying she's going to be the villain of the movie, which is really, really weird. However, we still have more casting to go through. That's right. More casting. It doesn't end there, because Jimmy Olsen has been cast. So Skylar Gisondo is going to play Jimmy Olsen. And the funny thing about this, and it's something I don't think any of us saw coming, is he's actually white and a redhead. Believe it or not, they actually made a character look like a character. And then we get more, as Sarah Sampaio is going to star in this movie as Eve Teschmacher. And then there's more rumours about even more members of the Authority showing up in this movie. So we may end up with at least 4 members of the Authority in the movie. We have these new people, Olsen, Eve, Metamorpho, all these people. And then we get a new image that has been dropped on Instagram that actually shows that David Cornsweet is putting in the work to get jacked for the role. Yes, unlike other people looking at you, Robert Pattinson, the guy is actually committing to the role and is getting properly jacked. And fair play to him. You know, it's funny how the guys all have to keep going through all this crap for these roles, and yet women, oh, we'll just CGI your arms bigger, don't worry. You know, it's crazy. But the movie is getting far too crowded, and it's something I was very worried about when they started announcing Hal Jordan, Metamorpho, Hawkgirl, all that. You were kind of going, oh no, you're just going to start trying to use this to set up the next movie. And people came back and said, no, that's not happening. I even had a couple of people in my comments saying, you're overthinking it, that's not happening. And now here we are with a possible 4 members of the Authority. And what's the movie that's going to come after it? The Authority. So they're going to use this movie to set that up, introduce all these characters that they're going to put into all these other shows. The Green Lantern show is coming, we know. All this stuff. And it's just getting to be a mess. The Middle East thing, maybe it's not there, but the Middle East part apparently is still in there. If it was ever in there, you know, take it with a grain of salt. But at the same time, we know James Gunn is full of crap. He constantly lies. You know, oh, we're not looking for someone younger for Superman. Then why did you get rid of Henry Cavill? Oh, we were looking for someone younger. Oh, it's not an origin story. What's the movie about? Well, it's when he first meets Lois Lane and Jimmy Olsen, Perry and all these guys. First starts working at the Daily Planet. And now we're finding out, possibly, whether it's in the Middle East or not, that the movie will introduce Superman for the first time to the world. That's an origin story. Oh, and apparently Amanda Weller might be in this thing as well. How are you going to figure that one out with continuity? Seeing as she sent Henry Cavill's Superman after Black Adam. It's going to be a mess. It really is. He might be able to pull something together that we can actually get behind and enjoy. I still don't think it's going to matter. I think by the time it comes out, the superhero genre on the big screen will be properly dead and buried. The fact that The Authority is the movie that comes out after it, yeah, it's not going to work. I cannot see it working. But there you go. That's the news that we have now with this ever-growing cast. And they're not just going to be small roles. We know they're going to be significant roles in this. Imagine Batman Begins. Imagine Christopher Nolan put Batman Begins. We're first getting introduced to Batman as he's becoming Batman. But he ended up putting the Joker, Penguin, Riddler, Mr. Freeze, Robin, Dick Grayson, Nightwing, Batgirl. All the list goes on and on and on. Could you imagine how bloated that? You would have never gotten the proper focus on Batman. And that's what's going to happen with it. We're not going to get the full proper focus on Superman. And that's what we should be getting with a Superman movie. We'll have to wait and see. But depending who he casts next, and more specifically who they're playing, if it's like Perry, then fine, because we know he's not going to be a massive part of it. If it's someone from Krypton, like one of his parents, they're probably not going to have that much. But if it's another member of the Authority or something like that, another superhero, it's in trouble. Anyway, with that, I will mention in this video again, because I keep getting told to mention it, that we got memberships. There's memberships available. There's one tier at the moment available. It's $3.99. At the moment, I have a few videos on there. There's a breakdown and review of Star Trek The Next Generation's Best of Both Worlds, which follows immediately by First Contact. a review and breakdown of that, and how those two are pretty much linked. There's a Predator total review and breakdown of that. There's a GoldenEye N64 game review breakdown. If you're interested, go ahead, take a look. There will be more videos going on there. Let us know. Would you be interested in seeing some gaming on it? Like if I recorded some gaming playthroughs and put it up, would you be interested in that? Let us know. And like and share and subscribe and all that good stuff. So with that, I will leave it there for this one. So cheers, and I'll catch you all in the next one.